ready to fight one of the greatest of all time athletes, not even mixed martial artists, athletes of all time, in his hometown, where they call this guy a king. So what better way to become a king is to go to another king's village and tell him, this is mine. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The king is Max.
It's no secret that Max Holloway considers himself the premier boxer in the UFC. Were it not for MMA, he's confident he'd have found success in the boxing ring as well.
He's even listening to the commentary team.
The best boxer UFC, baby! Oh! Right hand! Max Holloway there.
He holds the record for the most knockouts in the featherweight division.
Max Holloway is the undisputed UFC featherweight champion. Hawaii.
And the highest volume of strikes landed in a single UFC bout.
Wow. It looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding.
Wow!
It's very rare.
He's faced the most formidable opponents, but has never been knocked down.
Every fight I go in there, I just go in there, I open the door, and when you're ready to give up, I'll grab your hand, walk you to the door, give you a pat on the butt, and say, thank you, come again.
Yet all of the above is not the extent of Holloway's achievements.
Max Holloway's performance was nothing short of masterful. Nothing short of masterful. The way he handled Aldo, the way he yelled at me after the first round. He gets done with the round, and he's going back to his, and he looks at me and goes, "The man is tired! The man is tired!" He's a motherfucker. Dude, Max Holloway is a real fucking warrior.
Holloway was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, in December 1991. His father left the family, and his mother struggled with drug addiction.
My mom and my dad, I knew there was heavy drug users, and then my dad would always beat up my mom. I think so that her drugs was like her medicine, like would calm her stress, but that's why she noticed that she put our lives in front of hers and gave us to our grandma.
Max was raised by his grandparents, who did everything to instill in him proper values and shield him from the criminal world.
I just had a chip on my shoulder. I always thought so, like people owed me stuff, the world owed me stuff. I was going around like people owed me stuff, you owe me this, the world owed me that,
As a teenager, Holloway was drawn to fighting. Initially considering kickboxing, he later turned to MMA, which was experiencing a revival at the time.
First fight I actually took on 3 days notice, and I took it, kickboxing. I took it because it cost $30 to get into the fight. And I was like, oh, I just take a fight and I can go for free because I had a bunch of my friends fighting, you know what I mean?
In 2010, he began his professional career, winning the lightweight championship of the local league in his third bout.
Max Holloway!
3 months later, he competed in another local league and won by decision.
Tell everybody how old you are. 19.
Following this fight, UFC bosses took notice of the unremarkable young man and decided to take a chance on him. When the 20-year-old Hawaiian entered the UFC, he was the youngest fighter in the organization. But matchmakers had no intention of coddling the rookie. They matched him against the Diamond, who had already made a name for himself in the league.
Arm bar at the same time. He's going to break his arm.
It is all over!
That's brilliant.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier!
It seemed premature for the young man to fight grown men, but Max was determined to prove otherwise. Holloway quickly recovered and won his next 3 fights. Now, after 3 consecutive victories, Max was on a roll, but ahead of him lay the true sharks of the division. Max put up a worthy fight against his opponents but remained young and inexperienced. In 2012, Blessed tied the knot, and in the same year, the couple welcomed a son named Rush. The fighter admitted that his fatherless childhood influenced his idealized view of family. He promised himself to witness his child's entire upbringing firsthand and show him what a real family is like. From this moment begins the legendary streak of 13 wins.
When you look at at the way Max Holloway fights. Wide array of skills. He can submit you. He can knock you out. He can wear you out. His endurance and conditioning is outstanding. His discipline is outstanding. He's always in phenomenal shape.
But it's not just the streak of 13 wins that was phenomenal. It's also how he won. 10 out of 13 fights ended prematurely. But he wouldn't have pulled off this leap without his team. From day one, Max trained at Gracie Technics Gym. Over time, a whole coaching staff formed around him. Typically, when fighters from Hawaii make it big in the major leagues, they immediately move to live and train on the mainland. But Holloway kept moving forward with his team.
One of the great things that I love with the team is that, for me, I'm all about keeping the main thing. And the main thing for me is just fighting and making sure whoever's in front of me, whatever cupcake it is, I can enjoy that cupcake while they go do everything else for me.
A series of 9 victories elevated Max to the top of the division. His next opponent was former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis. 2 weeks before the tournament, their fight was elevated to a title status as DC got injured, and the main event was canceled.
So this time around, I feel like Max is not going to be able to take me down. That's already in my head. It's impossible. If he does, he's not strong enough to hold me down, and there's no way he's grinding out a 5-round Eddie Alvarez decision on me. So I'm excited to go out there and show the world what I can do.
When Max was just starting out in the UFC, he was often compared to Showtime, but now they stood face to face. The first round was evenly matched, but in the following rounds, Max felt the rhythm he needed. The Hawaiian began systematically dismantling his opponent, and by the end of the third round, he brutally pounded him against the cage.
Holloway looking to finish it. It's all over. Max Holloway.
What a performance by Max Holloway.
And now this is just my ticket to Jose Waldo. Hashtag where's Jose Waldo? Let me know when you guys find him. I'll be waiting.
But it was only a temporary title, and to win a full-fledged belt, Max had to venture into the lair of one of the greatest athletes in the sport, Jose Aldo.
Favorite moments. I look into Jose's eyes, I saw a killer. I saw a man that I've been watching for 16 years. One of the greatest of all times. I'm fighting. He's my superhero, you know, like, he's my idol. It's kind of crazy, you know?
How do you win against Jose tomorrow night, and how do you face this crowd?
Tune in tomorrow night. You guys go find out. I told you guys the star was born in December. We're going to twinkle bright tomorrow, baby.
Amidst the cheers of hostile fans, Max challenged the local champion. The contender instantly started pressing, but the Brazilian worked hard on counterattacks.
He got 2 punches. Jose Aldo follows up.
Jose Aldo seems to have...
But over time, Holloway increased the tempo and began to overwhelm his opponent.
Right hand from Holloway with the right.
A precise combination marked the beginning of the end for the Brazilian.
Recap all of tonight's action from Rio on the UFC 212 post-fight show. Max Holloway knocks down Jose.
Cracked him with the 1-2, and then again, and then he fell down. I was like, oh my gosh, is this happening?
Looks, oh, he's got Aldo hurt so bad. It's looking over, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, huge. That'll do it. Max Holloway. Max Holloway is the undisputed UFC.
Surprise. That was good.
The Hawaiian stated he was ready to defend his title against any opponent, but the greatness of the Brazilian earned him a rematch.
It is what it is. The legacy continues tomorrow night. Tune in, guys. Love you guys.
The Brazilian started strong again. But as the fight progressed, the champion's advantage became more evident.
Nice 1-2.
Max, absolutely fresh, threw a colossal 204 strikes in the third round, 180 of which landed.
Just right-handed. Holloway walks through it like it's nothing.
Dean getting in there. He might stop this thing soon. That'll do it. Max.
The Blessed Express continued its dominance at UFC 231.
To let all the people know, like, even your superheroes gotta fight their own demons.
Here, Daddy.
Brian Ortega was riding a streak of 6 stoppage victories and had no losses in his professional career.
Every single one of you has motivated me, pushed me, and drove me in a way where, like, this is it, you know? Like, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And whatever happens next weekend, doesn't matter. I'm happy that I have you guys. Fuck homies, you guys are family, you know what I'm saying? And I thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart.
Their encounter was supposed to take place at UFC 226, but a few days before the fight, many began to notice strange behavior and slurred speech from the Hawaiian.
You look a little sleepy.
I'm good, man. I'm good. A little bit tired. They got me doing a bunch of media stuff, but I'll be fine, man.
Doctors noticed signs of a concussion, as a result of which the fight was postponed to UFC 231. What happened to the champion is still unclear, but the buzz around Bryan was so great that he opened as the favorite. Max instantly took over the cage and started crushing the contender. The Hawaiian simply battered his opponent, unleashing a huge number of strikes on him.
He's landed nearly 200 at a 52% clip. Ortega retreats. He's getting his head snapped.
In title defense.
It was fun. 100K, boss.
Yeah.
Real one.
You got it.
Yeah.
now you can really be happy.
Awesome. My dad.
Now Max has become a true global sports star. He began attending various shows and, riding the wave of popularity, appeared in the movie Thief Hunters, where Michael Bisping and Oleg Taktarov also made appearances. In pursuit of greatness, Max leaped at the short notice to fight for the lightweight title against Khabib, but was pulled from the fight by the Athletic Commission. However, a year later, the Hawaiian moved up a weight class and faced his old nemesis.
Pound for pound, undeniable fighter in the whole world. I get to plead my case with this fight. It's one step closer to the goal. And I felt like I fit in here. And this is where you got to do. You know, if this is where I got to be the #1 pound fighter, let's go. You know, if I got to go up a weight class, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These two were considered among the most humble, stylish, and popular UFC fighters. Matching them against each other, matchmakers gave fans a tough choice.
It's the most prepared I've ever been. You know, I feel incredible. Everything's right on track. My weight, I feel strong. I feel focused. I'm excited to fight for my community, to give people a reason to cheer. But I fight mostly for my family.
In the first 2 rounds, the Diamond demonstrated a significant advantage in striking power, but thanks to his furious pace, Max began to even the score. Both left everything in the cage, but in the end, Dustin secured the victory by unanimous decision from the judges.
Poirier and Holloway go the distance.
Amazing fight.
Hey, your dad's a champion, brother. All right, Rush?
Okay.
Your dad's fine. He's good.
As a sign of respect to Dustin and his charitable endeavors, Max gifted him his gloves backstage.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Baby too.
Beautiful daughter.
But it wasn't all bad. His featherweight title was still with him and he needed to defend it. Being a decade older than his opponent, the UFC veteran put up a good fight, but Max excelled in every aspect. By outstriking the contender in practically every round, Max clinched the victory by unanimous decision from the judges.
Best man on the planet. You better hope CP make that walk, or you gotta face a Hawaiian that's gonna be coming in super heavy.
While Max was issuing the veteran his retirement certificate, the contender spot was taken by Alexander Volkanovski.
A lot of pressure on Mendez. Ripping to the body, drops him.
That's it. Alexander! Submission attack. That's gonna do it. Alexander Volkanovski.
At UFC 245, Holloway opened as a heavy favorite, but the contender dissected the champion's style and crafted an excellent plan. Initially, the Australian nullified Max's movements and then began to trade blows with him. Despite convincingly losing his title, an immediate rematch was set for UFC 251.
Everybody asks me, how does it feel coming in as a challenger? And I don't feel. We're not trying to look too far ahead. We're not trying to look too far back.
You know, that's why I've got something to prove. That's why I'm going to go out there. I'm going to finish him. You know, he wants to say that he thought he won. I'm going to put him away. And I'm going to guarantee his head's going to be down while my hand gets raised because he's going to know he lost.
It was evident that Max had worked on his mistakes.
In the first fight, Volkanovski continues to attack the inside of that lead leg.
He rocked Volkanovski several times and generally looked more convincing than the champion.
Oh, man, he's down again.
After the final bell, most analysts favored Max's victory, but the judges and the UFC leadership disagreed.
And still, maybe 1 round for Volkanovski. Yeah, I feel bad for Max.
Not seeking to prove his win, Max simply thanked the fans for their support and moved on. Regardless of others' opinions, Max intended to return to the title race, and first on his path stood the Boston finisher. From the first minutes, Max rushed his opponent and unleashed his entire arsenal.
Oh, that was a beautiful beat. Oh, that hurts it. Body shot from Max.
The Hawaiian continued to deliver relentless barrages, dismantling the opponent's body. In this fight, there was that highlight of a lifetime.
The best boxer you see, baby! Oh! Right hand!
I knew it.
Oh, man, look at all the blood. The freshman came to play, baby! Oh, my goodness. Max blessed Holloway.
The hurricane of strikes inflicted tremendous damage on Kelvin, who was immediately sent to the hospital after the fight.
Hey, Dana, that's 50K. No worry, kid. We got 50K, baby. That's what's up.
Max Holloway, animal. If you ain't a Max Holloway fan, you're a hater.
In total, the Hawaiian landed 445 strikes, setting a record for the most strikes landed in a single UFC bout. Following this, he would have another fight of the night, this time against the Mexican Panther.
Nice! Beautiful work. Backs him up against the bench. Man, if you want to beat the best, you got to be the best. And the best is blessed, baby. All love to you here. This guy's a beast. Viva Mexico!
Having beaten all contenders with a belt, Max proved that he was ready for another rematch, and at UFC 276, he was charged like never before. The only thing he wasn't prepared for was an improved version of Alex.
We do the same thing after the first 2 rounds. Volkanovski, you're not going to catch him with the hands.
Volkanovski demonstrated a virtuoso performance, winning every round of the 5. No one could have imagined it that someone would dominate Max like this. He simply couldn't offer anything against his main tormentor, and with his heat bout, Max left to heal his wounds. Having recovered from the tough fight with the Australian, Max defended his position against another rising prospect.
He's undefeated in the UFC. I'm right there. You know, I know. If he ain't first, you're last. So I'm not really looking at the number next to my name. I think it's kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, you know, whoever it was, you know, we was ready. We wanted to get after it. I wanted to fight. What I'm gonna do? Sit on the sideline forever? You know, I'm here. If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best, and the best is blessed.
The leadership clearly hoped for the young contender, as Allen would have received his title shot with a victory. For 5 rounds, the guys fought and spared no effort, but ultimately, the decision remained with the judges, who awarded the victory to Max.
Allen with another couple of big shots. And hold on for a moment. And they swing right to the final horn. Man,
I'm sure he'll be back.
I never doubted you, but they said, oh, it makes it worse.
Nah, I want to see you multiple times, bro. Yeah.
Unforgettable Max Holloway remained steadfastly atop the featherweight division and prepared to face another threat on the path to the title race. This threat was the legendary Korean Zombie.
We see, man. I think a dangerous Korean Zombie is going to show up come Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it.
Empty of the tank is the Korean Zombie now.
The fighter showcased one of the best clashes of 2023. In his farewell bout, the Korean Zombie put all his chips on the table. Only the bet turned out to be unsuccessful.
Give it up for Korean Zombie, guys. This man's a fucking legend. Let's go louder! Louder! Let's go.
At the beginning of his career, Max set himself the goal of becoming a great champion. And today, it can confidently be said that he has achieved it.
This is my night because the best is blessed. And Blessed Era is full effect. Blessed Express is coming to town. Don't get off the stop here and let's keep going.
If people don't understand how rare a breed fighters like Max Holloway are, it's their loss. In Hawaii, there's something for which millions of MMA fans love him.
They love watching you fight. They love watching you compete. You mean something to them. That's one thing you have been able to do to people. It's like you draw an emotion.
And when he says he lives for the sport and is ready for any challenge, you believe him. Not many fighters possess that.
I don't really cry about anything, and you know, if you think you're the best, come fight Bless.
And after all that's been said, regardless of whether he wins or loses his next fight, for true fans, he'll remain that guy who loves cupcakes and whom no obstacle in this life can stop.
Times don't last, tough people do. You know, a lot of people keep on grinding, and like they're about to break through, and then they just stop. just keep going. You're right there, you know, make that breakthrough, you know, never give up and stay focused and full steam ahead.